Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and we're out here today on a rather windy day, and yeah, I'm a little bit sick if you can hear it in my voice, but I wanted to come out because a video that I've been wanting to make is talking about magnification, and more specifically so for first focal plane scopes for you guys shooting in 22 competitions, those kind of things. Let's turn this on. So here, obviously, we have the Leupold Mark V. It's an awesome scope, and I have this in a 5-25, and I'm running a 5-25 for precision rimfire for a very good reason. And as we know, and you guys are seeing here, we're at a target at 50 yards with a first focal plane scope. The reticle is going to grow or shrink with magnification, so it's always going to be true, and it's that way so that your holds are not dependent on a certain set magnification. So at any magnification, those holds are going to be true. So here we got the low end of the scope, and we're going to peel all the way in and all the way up to 25 power. So why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of guys go out there and look at scopes, especially first focal planes, and they want to get the highest magnification they can. So often new shooters or guys like that will come in and look at a 7-35, a 6-36, and something to consider is that reticle size. So you have to be able to use the reticle, right? So we have to come in on magnification enough to be able to see those sub-tensions to make accurate holds, because we're not always able to dial. And if you have to be up at max magnification, or say on a 5-25, say you need to be at like 14 power, that's going to limit your field of view, right? So say on a 5-25, I need to be at like 14 or 15 power to use my subtensions to make accurate holds. There I can see those really easily. I can make good holds, but maybe in a 6-36, I need to be up at, I don't know, 20 magnification to see the same size reticle, because our magnification has stepped up. We were at 5-25, so 14-15 power is kind of in the heart of that. Now we're at a 6-36, and 22-23 power may be the heart of that. But you have to also think about the fact that here, say this is a 6-36 or a 7-35, and at this power magnification, we can see to make accurate holds. We're gonna do a little bit of shooting. I'm not even gonna shoot through the scope. But here you can see we're hitting the target, we're seeing the target. One thing we're not seeing is a lot of other things going on in this image, right? So if we back this off, say to like where I would use it, 13-14 power, now we're able to see more things. So if there was a lot of wind right now, that water mist or lead dust that was up in the air and actually will go out to 100, you're going to see more of that. So it should be a consideration of yours. And like I said, I don't want to beat this up, but it's definitely something to consider. So here we're going to come in, let's go to this target. We're going to come in at full magnification, 25 power, and say that's what we're at on like a 6-36, so we can see the subtensions. You can see just in this example, even though, let me adjust this parallax. Parallax is not perfect. We're not seeing a ton. And more experienced shooters can get away with a lot more magnification, because you're going to be able to get on target faster, a little bit more naturally. But look what happens when we back out to say like 14 power on this optic. I can still very much see the reticle because it's a 5-25. And now look what I can see. Now I can see that wind flag, I can see leaves, I can see, look at that gust there. I'm gonna aim left because of that gust. You can see all sorts of stuff that you weren't able to see before. And obviously the simple answer is, well, just back the magnification out. But if you back it out so far just to get the field of view you need, and you're not able to really truly see the reticle, so here you can see the reticle, but could we use it for accurate subtensions holds, 2/10 or whatever? Probably not. Obviously you can still see this is at 5 power, but it's 100% something you need to consider. Now, as a blanket, I kind of like a 5-25, 6-24, that kind of magnification range, 4.5-30 for precision rimfire, because we're dealing with targets. Say we had to shoot, you know, this target, that target, and this target, all in a course of fire. Well, if I back this down to where I can still see the reticle, I can pretty much see exactly where I'm at. So when I throw this gun up on a bag and I'm here, oh, I can see that target is left of me, and that target. You're seeing more field of view. So at like 100 yards, something typical for rimfire, where I need to see more field of view so I'm not lost in the targets, especially for a newer shooter. You know, if you're looking at centerfire targets and say we want to stretch it out, and this is only 200 yards, but you can see how much more at that same magnification we can see. So for centerfire, guys will typically run 7 to 35s. You can run higher magnification because even though the targets are spread out across the environment, you're looking out 600, 800, 1,000 yards. You obviously can see a giant picture of what's out there. But for rimfire, as you get in really close, and we'll increase that magnification, we'll come back to those targets, you can see just how easy it is to kind of get lost in this. So, oh, there's that target, how much more hunting we need to do. And again, you know, more accomplished shooters, guys who spend a lot more time behind a rifle and shooting, they can get away with it. But if you're a newer shooter, you're looking to get in something, you're looking at getting your first focal plane scope, and you're going to shoot NRL22, PRS22, knowing that your targets are, you know, generally within 200 yards, I would probably steer most people in that 4.5 to 30, 5 to 25 power range, and especially when you're just getting started shooting, just because it's going to allow you to run that 12, 13, 14 power, still see your sub tensions on your reticle really well, and you guys can see those across those little backers. You know, we have 2/10 sub tensions below that. It's going to allow you to see that and see a bigger picture, which is going to help you get on target, find your targets a little bit easier, and just generically see a lot more. Let's see if we can make a wind call based off of that without looking. There we go. But yeah, so that's kind of where I would steer you guys. Now, if this is not your first rodeo, seen that off to the right, then, you know, feel free to jump up in that other magnification. I would actually say shooting more magnification in the long run will help you, but as a newer shooter getting started in this, you need to be able to not get lost. Do more wind out there now, gust. And you need to be able to read your reticle, because that's a very, very important part of precision rifle shooting. And the reason I say that is maybe we were going to shoot at 100 yards here, but then we also needed to shoot at 130, and say that's 8/10 holdover to hit that. That's not reality. It's probably more like a .2 or something like that. But you have to be able to see your reticle. So there we're 1 mil, and we're going to go to 1 point, let's see, about 2, and hold a little left. And there we go, we hit the target. But those are all very important things, and I think this is something that's not talked about enough as far as guys getting into shooting with first focal planes, because that is the major drawback of a first focal plane, is that, you know, at very low power, the reticle is basically almost unusable. Now, I'm still very easily able to use it as, you know, point and shoot kind of shooting, but to use accurate subtensions when your reticle is that small, it's going to be very difficult. And, you know, if we're peeling in all the way, then the reticle is going to get really big and our field of view is going to shrink way down. So we need to find a happy medium. And again, these are just my thoughts and opinions after, you know, being in the sport for a little while, shooting a bunch of different optics. If you disagree with that, or if you have other helpful information, please throw it down in the comments below. I never censor that kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't know everything. I'm just trying to share with you guys what I have learned for myself, what has worked for me. Obviously, there's 100 different ways to skin a cat. But again, that is why I have went to this Mark V. I've been running the Mark IVs. The Mark V is just one of those scopes that's tried and true. And you can see just how good this glass is. And this scope cam is obviously wrecking that. You know, we'll parallax back out to like 150 or so. But the glass is really good. The reticles are really great. And obviously this is the Tremor 3 reticle, which some people will love, some people will hate. It does not bother me at all. I actually grown quite fond of it after using it a little bit. But yeah, so that's what I'm running right now. It's the Mark V 5 to 25. There'll be more video footage of this scope being used. This is obviously my Modicam Rim-X, which is my main competition rifle right now in the Vision Pro chassis. So yeah, more to come on this, but I wanted to make this video because it's a question that I see a lot, or I see people struggling with this, and I didn't know of a video that actually touched on this specifically for PRS22, NRL22 shooters. and the considerations that we specifically have for having those closer range targets where they're going to be spread out across a flat range, and where magnification is going to play a big factor in how successful you are, especially as a newer shooter. But thanks again for watching. I appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.